In this video, we'll be taking a look at HTMX, which is Hypertext Markup Extension. We'll see how it is simplifying front-end web development. But before doing that, if you are a web developer, data enthusiast, or IT professional looking to dive deep into Microsoft SQL Server 2022, we have fantastic news for you. Our online course, Master Microsoft SQL Server 2022, is now available at an unbeatable discount. Just make use of this coupon code SQL Master and enroll in course today. Do note that this offer is only limited for 5 days starting today. So hurry up. You can find the link in the description as well. You'll get 8 hours of content, and all you need to do is once you're on this URL, just click on apply coupon and here enter the coupon code SQL Master. Click on apply and you'll get the course at the best price available. Now let's get back to HTMX. As mentioned, HTMX is a JavaScript library that stands for Hypertext Markup Extension. It's designed to simplify building web applications with the concept of progressive enhancement, where you start with a basic HTML page and progressively add interactivity and dynamic behavior to it, rather than relying heavily on complex JavaScript frameworks like React, Vue, and so on and so forth. HTMX is compatible with modern web browsers, making it suitable for most web development projects. It doesn't rely on specific browser features or extensive polyfills. Here, I have created a simple HTML page and I would like to show what exactly HTMX is doing over here. For example, the first point that we mentioned, progressive enhancement. So HTMX promotes the idea of enhancing HTML with additional behavior and interactivity as needed, rather than starting with a complex JavaScript framework from the beginning. This approach can lead to more accessible and SEO-friendly web applications. So here you can see that we are starting off with a very simple form. It's a form with an ID, a text box, and a button. Now the text box, you can see it says type equals text, name equals username, and there's a placeholder. Then we have a submit button, and that's pretty much it. We can add validations as well if required by just going over here and saying required, and that will add validation as well to the form. Now you see how it enhances the form with Ajax behavior using declarative HTML attributes. So it adds declarative attributes to our HTML elements to define their behavior. And here you can see that we are trying to say that you make a post using hx-post and you specify a server-side URL or endpoint, that's submit over here. And it also mentions where exactly you will be updating the results, that's hx target, and the result will be shown over here in this div with ID result. So you can see that now the same form has been enhanced and it is now capable of making a server-side post request and updating the result div with the output from the server. And these attributes make it easy to add Ajax functionality to our HTML elements. Now just assume this with a jQuery or any other library for that matter. You won't be able to achieve the same feature or behavior or functionality with these many number of lines of code. Similarly, the other example that we have over here, there we are making use of get attribute. So we are getting some data from an API and we are populating that data over here in a div with an ID data. And all we need to do is just write these 2 lines of code as far as front end is concerned. And that is all it takes to complete this operation. Then we have bidirectional communication. HTMX supports bidirectional communication between the server and the client. It can send data to the server and update the page with the response without requiring a full page refresh. And this functionality is often referred as turbo links. So it's not like you're clicking on a button and it will do a full page reload. No, that's not the case here. You're clicking on a button and the data is sent back asynchronously and the results are then updated in a given div. Like over here, we are trying to mimic a button click with a counter increment feature where the response is returned by the server. So here we have this div ID counter and the value will keep on incrementing. We also have event handling, where we can make use of HTMX to handle various events such as clicks, form submissions, and more without writing extensive JavaScript code. Events are bound to HTML elements using HTMX attributes. So here, if you see, this is the same form that we have been discussing. And hexpost is saying that it will post to this endpoint. The HS target says that the results will be populated in this div, which is having the ID result. And we have these two, input and submit button, as the usual form elements. We also have conditional loading feature, where it conditionally load content based on user interactions. So you're clicking on a button, you're calling an endpoint using the hxGet attribute, and then you have the trigger, that's the click event. And when you do that, the target is also specified over here, which says more content, and it will be kind of appended in this particular div. Server-side integration is also provided and supported by HTMX, so no matter what server-side or backend technology you're using, like Python, Ruby, ASP.NET, Core, MVC, or PHP, as long as your server is returning proper HTML, it's going to work flawlessly. We also have extensibility. It provides hooks and options for customization. You can extend its functionality to suit your application's specific needs. It's not limiting you in any way. Like if you wish to go ahead and make use of any library, you're free to do so. Like you want to go ahead and implement jQuery as well as part of your web application, you're free to do that. You can also go ahead with other frameworks, but it tries to give you a very clean front-end experience as far as the elements or form elements or the HTML page code is concerned. It just reduces the amount of code that is required to perform a given operation, especially the common operations that we have been doing in past using many libraries. And as mentioned earlier, we do have the compatibility. So HTMX is compatible with most modern web browsers and can be easily integrated into existing projects or used as a standalone library. Now that we have seen all these features, let's see how we can incorporate it, or how can we start making use of HTMX. So the first thing is, you can head over to htmx.org, and here you can see in quick start, all you need to do is make use of this script, which is htmx.org, and once you have incorporated that script, you're all good to go. You can see some of the examples that they have provided over here, like server-side integration examples. For that, you can check out the GitHub repositories and some of the UI examples that you see over here. You can see the use cases. It kind of tries to cover everything, be it clicking to edit or bulk update a table. Like over here, if I click on this one, you can see there's a form containing a table, and we have just applied some styling to it. Here you have the output, select rows and activate or deactivate. So if I have these three active ones selected over here, and let's click on this. So this is the initial state, how the whole page is looking right now. If I go ahead and click on deactivate, notice how easily it will update this status. And it has highlighted those three rows as well. And this is the response that you're getting from the server. And this is the request that we sent with ID 0, 1, and 2. And the response is an HTML snippet, which is then updating this table layout. So that's pretty easy, and that's achieved using a few lines of code rather than writing a separate HTML and then a JavaScript code using libraries like jQuery or React or any other for that matter. Similarly, you can click on examples and you can explore other items as well, like sortable over here. So this kind of demonstrates how to integrate the sortable JavaScript library with HTMX. So the point that I was making, that it is not limiting you with anything. It is there to minimize, to make the whole front-end development manageable, and wherever you require that you need some kind of scripting, you are always free to do that. So here you have the HTMX onload event, and here we are applying the sortable library. So it says sortables content.query selector all with the sortable class, and just loops through all the sortables that we have. And this is the form with the sortable class, and it posts all these to an endpoint denoted by slash items, and then we have the trigger end. So as soon as the sorting is done, it is going to send the status back to the server so that the server also synchronizes with the output that we see over here. Like if I sort over here as 1 2 3 4 5 and I put 5 over here, this is going to do a post as well. So here you see 1 2 5 3 4, this is sent to the server. The server has also updated the same and returned the sorted result set. So the options are plenty, and I would definitely encourage you to give it a try and see how things are working for you. Do let us know in the comment section.